Welcome back to another episode of MotoGP Mac, and today we're going to talk about the race that just happened in COTA. Now, before we get into it, I do want to say thank you to SD and to Rainman for sending me pictures over the course of the race weekend, and also to Rainman for giving the MotoGP Mac t-shirt its initial debut at a MotoGP race. Now, before we go any further, here is how the race finished up. Alex Rins won it from Luca Marini, Fabio Quartararo, Maverick Vinales, Miguel Oliveira, Marco Bezzecchi, Johan Mir, Franco Morbidelli, Fabio Di Gianantonio, Augusto Fernandez, Michele Pirro, Jonas Folger and Brad Binder. You'll notice I only said 13 names there, and that's because there was only 13 classified finishers. So at the start of the race, Pecco, Rins, Jack Miller, Quartararo all got fairly decent starts, and coming through turn 2 or turn 3, Jorge Martin lost the front of the bike and took out Alex Marquez. Now, the worrying thing here was that Alex Marquez reached the barrier with the bike again, which is something that we never like to see happen, but he was gone to the medical center for a checkup. Now, as the race got underway and started to settle down a small bit, Pecco was leading comfortably from Rins until Rins started to put a little bit of pressure on him. Then kind of a shock was that Pecco lost the front in turn 2 and Rins took over the lead and never looked under any pressure whatsoever. Miller also did crash, which was promoted Quartararo at the time into second place, but Marini was on a mission to pass him and he did. Vinales, who got a terrible start to be fair, did finish in fourth place, with Miguel Oliveira pulling off a brilliant move on Johan Zarco through the twisty bits to claim fifth place. Marco Bezzecchi was running with Luca Marini but started to drop back. Not sure if that was tire wear or fatigue. I guess we'll find out at a later stage. Johan Zarco was the same. Franco Morbidelli, he did well, but saying that as there was an awful lot of crashers ahead of him, he was promoted up into 8th. Fabio Di Gianantonio, again, same as Morbidelli. I think I'm starting to expect a little bit more from him. And Augusto Fernandez, again, finished as lowest of the normal riders that are there. Michele Pirro won the test rider battle. Jonas Folger and Brad Binder then, I suppose, 13th doesn't really tell what happened to Brad. Brad actually did crash and remounted, was one of the only riders actually to crash and remount. You know, Pecco, what was the reason for the crash? For me, it looked like he was starting to crack under the pressure of Rins, which we've seen from Pecco from time to time. But again, I don't know, is Pecco worried or what? But again, he's missed a chance to extend his lead over his teammate that is not here. All in all, I thought it was a good enough race, if I'm very honest. But I suppose it's always a little bit worrying when you see riders crash and hit the fences, so hopefully something can be done about it. The track itself was in pretty bad condition. There was a lot of patches, I would call it. So the track conditions were very inconsistent, and I think that's what led, in my opinion, to the high attrition rate, or the high crash rate, if you want to call it that. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What did you think of the COTA Grand Prix, or the Grand Prix of Austin? Who was your rider of the day? For me, it is undoubtedly Alex Rins again, but definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll be back again tomorrow with another video.